I'm just gonna like wait for a few more people to join. We're gonna talk for a row. Oh my gosh, you're so fast. I literally just came on. What's up? How's it going? How is it going? What's new? What's new, everyone? My ex posted something about me again. Oh no, what? For real? She won't give that shit up, hey? That's funny. I mean, I don't know if it's funny, but it's like, it seems interesting how they never really like let go. Very interesting. I know. Let's see if I can change the light in here. There we go. Just tonight. How timely. And then I go live. How do you feel about it? You cool? I'm getting my hair done next week. I'm gonna get rid of all this. Hey girl, what's going on? Sylvia's in the house. How's it going, love? What's new? She loves me and thinks of me every day. Posted on TikTok. Feels that way, doesn't it? You cried a bit and the sadness came back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to go through that. It sucks. That's a trauma bond for you. The trauma bond really hits you like that. You didn't respond or acknowledge. Good. You got to keep that gray rock. You got to keep that no contact. You get stronger the farther away you stay. The further away you stay from a narcissist, the stronger you get, honestly. So, proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. You look beautiful. What are you going to get done? I'm just going to get these roots done. See how it's all black here and then it goes to blonde? So I'm just going to get like this all touched up. Freshen it up. Freshen it up for Toronto. If anybody is new here and they're just popping in, my name is Ro. I am a narcissistic abuse survivor and I'm a certified life coach. I can help you heal from narcissistic abuse. I think it's really important to learn what you went through and get through this place of healing. Understand what you went through, understand your go lavender. Understand your people. I don't know if I can go lavender. I feel like that would be too much for me, even though there is like a bit of like purple going on in my hair. There's a bit of purple happening here. I don't know. But I am going to be in Toronto. So if some of you do not know, I'm part of a group called the Narc Avengers, and we help people heal. There's a lot of us on the group. There's 16 of us in total. There is two self-aware narcissists and two psychologists, and the rest of us, some of us are life coaches, some of us just help with dating. I help with dating. But yes, I'm going to be in Toronto on November 19th. So there's a lot of stuff coming up for November that I am here to share with you. If you're just popping in, my name is Ro. I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor and I'm a certified life coach. I help you heal from narcissistic abuse. If you want to book a coaching session with me, you can. I also have a course called Healthy Dating After Abuse that's on Raw Motivation's Narc app. You can find it on narcapp.com. Everything can be found in the link in my bio. I go live for 1 hour. So today we're going to be talking about dating after a narcissist. Who here wants to date after they were with a narcissist? Who here's in the space of healing right now and wants to maybe step out into the world and trust yourself again and maybe go on a date? Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus above. No, that's a big fat no. I know it's really tough. What about dating holds you back? What about it makes you feel like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. You want to, but you're scared. So what about it is terrifying for you? What's the scariest part of dating? I was just telling my family at dinner that I saved you. You were telling your family at dinner. Oh, Erica, you're so sweet. Thank you for the love badge, by the way. Anybody who does want to subscribe to my lives, it tells me that I need to go live more. So the more people subscribe, the more I go live. I don't know what love should feel like. Love is a verb. Love is a verb. So it's how you show up for yourself. It's how you show up for others. I do teach about how you can show yourself love, and the more you show yourself love, the more you can actually feel love from others. I really do believe that love is a verb. If you don't already have my journal, I would suggest picking it up. Oops. I would suggest picking it up on Amazon. So my journal is on Amazon, and it is just kind of like a little bit of a lined journal with quotes that I've shared on TikTok. It can help you realize some of the things that you might need to work on, right? The best story ever told is your own. So really learning how to love yourself, journaling is a really big part of loving yourself. And once you can figure out and identify what love means for you, you can actually learn to find that in others. It's just nothing will surpass the high from love bombing. I never felt that good before. Yes, but it is fake, right? How beautiful. I didn't know you had your own journal. Yes. So if you go to the link in my bio, you can find it under Healing Journal. It is on Amazon. So you can just Google Rossana Faye and find it on Amazon. But there is a really good space here for you to put your freedom date. So you know how we talk about our freedom date and what it means for you? You can put your freedom date in the journal and kind of get started with all the wonderful things you get to do in your freedom. So I would suggest picking that up. I love how it's flappy. It is flappy because we want to write in it, right? We want to write in our journal, and you can pull the pages back and write in it. It's dated. It does have my quotes at the bottom. Each one, hold on, pain ends. There's always choose you. It's a really good space to just share your thoughts and also celebrate your freedom. Anyone who coaches with me knows that sometimes I get you to do some self-care acts and then also celebrate those self-care acts. So all the things you get to do in your freedom that you never were able to do with the narcissist, you can do, and you can write about it and you can celebrate it. So journaling is part of that. It is flappy. Yeah. So dating after abuse is really difficult, guys. It's not the easiest thing in the world, right? Why is it so hard? Because we are hypervigilant. We think everyone is going to hurt us. We were hurt before in the past and we don't want to get hurt again. So we feel like everyone's a narcissist. And the thing is, we actually cannot avoid narcissists. They will show up in all sorts of ways all the time. We just want to make sure that our radar works. So if we can identify that somebody is not for us and not really who they are, they're not who they say they are, they're a faker, they're a liar, they're a poser, then what you can do is you can just cut them off. This is what I teach you. Self-care acts are hard. I know they are. If you schedule them in, I know it sounds weird, but if you schedule them in and tell yourself, I'm going to do 5 today. I know that seems crazy. Who here thinks it's crazy to perform 5 self-care acts in one day? Hands up if you think that's crazy. You're so pretty, and yes, girl, you're on point. Thank you, Raven. I gotta type and it gets me in trouble. Oh gosh. Oh God, right? Right? Too much. Is that too much? Now think about what a self-care act is. If you're stuck on what self-care acts are, if you're stuck on what to do to practice self-care, I have 31 ways to practice self-care. It's a digital download you can find in the link in my bio. But self-care is whenever you put yourself first. Self-care is going no contact with the narcissist. That's self-care. Self-care is listening to your favorite song. Self-care is taking a shower. Self-care is watching your favorite show on Netflix. Self-care is going for a drive and listening to your favorite radio station. Self-care is journaling. Self-care is having a coffee at Starbucks, especially when you were financially abused and not allowed to even have Starbucks because you were accused of cheating or accused of lying. Right? Self-care could be brushing your teeth. Self-care is meditation. Self-care is spending time with family, friends, your pets, in nature. Self-care is doing a hobby. So if you were to say you were doing 5 things a day that were just for you, that nobody could tell you that you're not allowed to, nobody could criticize you for it. You were allowed to just put yourself first and celebrate it. Those are the things that you do to show up for yourself in love. Those are the things you get to do to tell yourself that you're worth it, that you love yourself. Because you can't just wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, I love you. It doesn't really work that way. You have to show up for yourself because love is a verb. Love isn't just a noun. It's not a thing. It's not something we say. We actually have to show up for ourselves in love. Cesar didn't understand anything. Can't drive right now. Love your videos. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you. So if you're thinking about dating again and, you want to learn what the red flags are and you want to learn how to create some emotional boundaries, then I would suggest either working with me on a one-on-one coaching or taking the course. The Healthy Dating After Abuse course can help you get there and have you understand what it is you went through. Is the new supply better? What do you think? The new supply doesn't know any better. The new supply is blind to the abuse. If you're talking and referring to the new supply, you're talking about a narcissist finding a new person to feed off of, right? That's a new supply. Will the new supply be any better? No, the new supply is you at one point. The new supply used to be you. Everyone is just in a rotation. Whenever a narcissist finds their victim, their prey, they prey on you and you're their victim, as they're love bombing you, they're manipulating and abusing their last supply. So the last supply might have asked, are you any better? And you might have fallen for it because they mirrored you and they love bombed you and it felt so good and it felt so great. And they're manipulating you. Love bombing is a tactic. It's a manipulation tactic to get you to trust them. When you are being abused now by being triangulated by social media and the new supply and made to feel like it was always your fault, that new supply doesn't know any better. It doesn't mean they are better. They are just in a new place, the place that you used to be in when you first met them. And yes, it is sick. I'm happy that you left. No caller ID 100 times a day saying sorry he is. Yeah, sometimes you have to change your number. I've actually had clients that will change their number because the narcissist will not stop calling them from fake numbers and spoof numbers. They'll call you from every other number just to get to you. And whenever you answer the phone, they know that they've got you. He's using the system now to continue to abuse you. Yeah, that system that they'll use is a form of triangulation as well. So however they can abuse you through another form, that would be what a narcissist is really good at doing. I have so much anger towards the new supply because she was there before me, during, and now after. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Blocked on everything. Yes. Why did she see my pain and hurt? I can't expect a stranger to care for me, but I wouldn't want to. Everybody's different. We don't know what they go through. We don't know what it is they're thinking, right? Sometimes we please narcissists because we know we're going to have a good day with them. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense for anybody people are wondering, like, why are you still with them? Like, why do you let them do that shit to you? I don't understand. And the thing is, we don't understand why we do our own things. Well, we don't understand why we stay with them for so long. We don't understand why somebody would want to stay with them knowing that they are abusive. We have no idea. So that's the tough thing, right? Like, we can't live in anybody else's shoes. We can have empathy and we can have some sort of compassion and understanding of why they're in it or feel for them, but we won't understand why they make the decisions they make. I feel so confused. He gaslights me and makes me question the things I say. Yes, Taylor, narcissists will leave you confused every day of the week. It's cognitive dissonance. It's basically they say one thing and they do another thing. Their actions never match their words. So if they say they love you and the next minute all of a sudden they are cheating on you or they're manipulating you, lying to you, they say that they're going to be, they're going to protect you and the next minute they're the most dangerous person you've ever met. That's cognitive dissonance and none of that shit matches up. And so it leaves us very confused. And especially with the gaslighting, the whole point of gaslighting is to make you feel crazy, is to change and shift your reality where you no longer know what reality is, because a narcissist has a delusional disorder. They live in a non-reality. They believe it so much that they actually believe their reality to be true. They live in their delusion so much it becomes their reality. And so think about that. If that's their MO and they're trying to get you to feel crazy, you will feel crazy and confused. You will not know what's up and down. You will not know what's left and right. You'll have so much confusion that you just don't trust yourself anymore. Healing from narcissistic abuse, a big part of it is learning how to trust yourself again. Is it intentional? What do you mean? From the narcissist? Maybe. The intention is to gain supply. So if their game is to gain supply, then yes, it's intentional. That's their game. They want to win. Can a narc pass a polygraph? I have no idea. Probably not. It's been said that psychopaths can pass a polygraph test. I don't know if narcissism fits in that same psychopathy theory where they just have zero. Like their anxiety level is like they're super calm when they're lying. So I don't know exactly how that fits in because narcissists are extremely insecure. What causes narcissism? Really, what causes narcissism is an emotional immaturity. So it's narcissists basically do not know how to feel their feelings. They do not know how to regulate their emotions. And they don't even know what their feelings are. They have no identity. So all children, I've heard this before, all children are narcissists. I have 3 kids, so when I say this, I giggle. But all children are narcissists because they have all the 9 behavioral traits of narcissism. Why? Because they weren't able to identify their emotions. They're too young for that. So if you look at a narcissist wasn't able to identify their emotions. Nobody gave them the opportunity to label their emotions, feel their feelings, and regulate. And what happens when someone's not able to do that, as they get older, they look at other tactics. Nobody gives them the opportunity to regulate their own emotions, so they don't want to own them. They place it onto you. Have you ever had a narcissist show up, walk through the door and say, "What's with that stink face you have? Are you on your period or something? Did you take your medication? Why do you look so grumpy? Why are you so mad?" And you're literally like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not mad." Like, what? Why do you look like that? You look so angry. It's because they're angry. They don't know how to identify their own emotions or even like acknowledge that they have emotions. So they want to just place it onto you. They're like, "Ick, emotions. I don't want them. You take them." So they'll place their emotions onto you. Why? Because they don't know how to identify their own mood, their own feelings, their own emotions. They don't know how to identify it. And if they can't identify it, they can't feel their feelings and sit in it. We have to walk through the fire. We can't sit in it. They don't know how to walk through it. They don't know how to feel it and sit in it. So because they don't know how to do it, they can't regulate it down. So they project it onto you. If they're in a bad mood, you're the one that's in a bad mood. They place that shit onto you. Now, a narcissist is born from, they're basically created over their environment. It's more of a, nurture versus nature type situation. So they're created because of their lack of emotional development. Nobody ever gave them the tools to do this. Their parents could have just gave them candy every time they were sad or said, "You're fine, you're fine, you're fine." That's why a lot of narcissists have addiction issues, because they turn to a substance to cope. Instead of learning how to cope and downregulate their emotion and identify their feelings and feel them, they cope in other ways. They go internal. They're not able to trust the outside world to help them regulate as they were growing up. So they go internal. They become self-absorbed. They start changing their reality. They start turning to narcissism and gaslighting techniques because they don't know how to feel their feelings. They believe their feelings are facts. They don't know that they're feelings. So if a narcissist is jealous of you, perhaps because of their own guilt from, like, say, cheating, they're going to say, "Well, I'm jealous of you. I think you're cheating. You're cheating." And they're going to blame you for cheating. Because one, they're projecting their own guilt from cheating onto you. And two, They believe their feelings are facts. They have a genuine jealousy because of their own insecurity. So they're like, if I'm jealous, she must be cheating. If she's cheating, I'm allowed to cheat. And there comes the justification for everything they do. That explains it, right? So this is what they do. They live in this delusional world. They repeat it to themselves over and over and over and over and over again till it becomes true for them. And now it's their reality. It becomes their reality. They live in a delusional world. And they call you delusional. How many of us were called delusional by the narcissist? I've never heard anyone ever call me that until I met the narcissist that I married. I knew the word delusional. I knew what delusions were. I knew about delusions. I never ever was called delusional. And he would call this to me all the time. You're delusional. You're so delusional. And I'm like, am I? Like, I'm literally just telling you my feelings. How am I delusional? Because they're delusional. They actually live in delusion. Narcissism is a delusional disorder. What's up, Christy? How are you? Oh my God, yes. Yeah, so a lot of narcissists will call you delusional, and this is why, right? The ex called me that before. Yup. He would say, you're so negative. Yeah, and why? What were the reasons for being negative? He finally said, congratulations, I will not try anymore. Dude, I had to contact my ex's girlfriend's old psychiatrist to make sure that I wasn't what she said. Yeah. Blames me for being 33 with no house, no money, no kids. And he doesn't push for anything. Yeah. I mean, have you ever had a narcissist like say that about their friends? Like, you know that they're saying that about you too. And eventually they'll say that right to your face. Narcissists, they do not have friends. They have enablers. And all of their ride or dies or all their besties, they're going to make fun of, they're going to degrade, they're going to insult behind their back all the time. Like, I don't know about you, but the narcissist that I had in my life would talk about his friends, his best friends, and talk about how shitty their lives are. And say, oh, you know, when we were in high school, he said he was going to make $1 million doing this and that. Look at him now. He's just an insurance salesman. Like, oh my God. But the next thing you know, like we'd go over to dinner at this said friend's house and he's their best bud, right? They do this. They have this deep envy and jealousy of other people. They're jealous of their friends. Exactly. So they will talk shit about them. Nobody talks more shit about other people that they apparently love and are really good friends with than narcissists. They do this because they're so insecure about themselves. They're so insecure. Complains 24/7 about everything. Yeah. Can they be healed? Everyone can be healed. Everyone can heal. Healing is a choice. Healing is a choice we take. So people with borderline, okay, people with BPD can heal because they're so in so much pain that they go and they take different behavioral techniques and go and see psychologists and go in therapy and have some sort of support for what they're going through. Narcissists do not recognize that they're the problem. So can they be healed or can they go on a healing journey? Absolutely. But that would require them to have this choice that they're having a problem. And that requires pain. In order for us to change, we need to feel the pain. We need to be able to climb out of this rock bottom hole and realize that we're in a hole. Does a narcissist realize they're in a hole? No, because all of the chaos that they create all around them doesn't affect them. It feeds them. It feeds their supply. And to have a narcissist be able to say, hey, my life isn't working right now, I need to change. What's up, Jason? How's it going? Right? When a narcissist is like, I think my life is fucked up. I need to change. It would require them to feel some sort of pain. What is that pain? It's them not getting what they want. Right? So if they're getting what they want, if they're apologizing to you, or if they're gaslighting you and getting you to apologize to them, if you're taking them back after they cheated on you, if they are winning you over with more love bombing and hoovering techniques, why would they want to change? Where is the pain for them? Whatever they're doing is working, so they're going to keep doing it. They're not going to stop doing it. They're going to keep doing what they're doing, and they're not going to want to seek help or heal because they don't believe that there's anything to heal. They don't believe that they're the problem. They want you to be the problem. So I would not hold my breath on that one. Yeah, narcs, do not apologize. I learned Sunday that my narc has a new boyfriend 30 days after getting me out of the house. Yeah, they have supply on rotation. A lot of the times a narcissist will line up supply so they're ready to go. Ready to go, and next thing you know, they're moving someone else in as you're moving out. They're probably cheating on you as well. A lot of narcissists cheat because of that behavioral trait, the sense of entitlement. They're entitled to other people. They're entitled to your money, to your body, to your emotions. They're entitled to everyone else around them. They're entitled to all of it. So they're going to have all of this supply like rounded up on rotation. They'll be on their phones texting everybody, making sure they get supply anywhere they want. So the second you discard them or they discard you, they're moving somebody else in. It's very common. They move on very fast. Yeah, they're moving on to the next. So it's not that they're moving on to the next cycle. It's all about cycles with narcissists. They go through all these cycles. So the second they're love bombing you, they're abusing the last one and showing the last one how amazing things are with you. And it feels really great with you, and it looks really good on the surface. And the optics look nice, but for the last one who's getting abused, that was devalued, they're the ones having to suffer. And then when they go into their next cycle and they start abusing you and they move on to the next supply, they're love bombing the next supply as they're abusing you. In media, friend circles, yeah. He had his lined up recycled girlfriend from 35 years ago. Sometimes they have some old supply that just keeps on coming back. Her phone has more clandestine shit than the Pentagon or the CIA. Oh gosh. Right after you're sick of their shit, you don't care when they move on. Yes, this is true. My friends are the reason why I'm with a narcissist, because they are narcissists. Sometimes your friends are the worst enablers. They're not really your friends. I help people deal with friendships after narcissistic abuse or even toxic friends. We do have frenemies. There are people in our lives, even if you've never been with a narcissist, you might find somebody in your life who's a toxic person who is going to really just relish and almost indulge in your misfortune. They only want to see you in pain. They're there for you when you're having a rough patch, when you're going through some shit. But the second you start coming up, the second you start succeeding and doing things for yourself in life, they're like, you've changed. I don't like the new you. I don't like this. They want to see you in bad relationships. They want to see you not succeeding. They want to see you sick. They want to see you down because it levels them up. It makes them feel elevated. There are a lot of toxic friendships. And whether you have a narcissistic romantic partner or not, or narcissistic parents or not, you're going to have some narcissistic friends who are pretending to be your friends, or they're just frenemies. How do you know if someone is a true friend? How do you know if someone is really for you? They're with you when you're succeeding. They're with you when you're healing. I don't know if you've ever heard of the term crab mentality. Crab mentality, anybody heard of that term before? I've had the same friends my whole life. And how are they? So crab mentality is basically if you put one crab in a bucket, it's going to crawl out to freedom and swim away. Okay? You put 8 crabs in a bucket. Do you know what's going to happen? Those other 7 crabs are going to pull that 8th crab down, and no one's going to get out of that bucket. So much so that fishermen who are fishing for crabs do not even have to put a lid on that bucket. Why? Because they know that these crabs are going to pull all the crabs down and none of them are going to get out. They do not want the other crabs to succeed and get out to freedom. There are people in your life who have crab mentality, who want to pull you down with them. If they see you succeeding, if they see you healing, and they know that they don't have the same access as you to healing and succeeding, they will pull you down to the depths, to the basement where they live, because they don't want to see you succeed. They would rather you be down with them than go off and fly on your own and be free. They don't want that. They're used to you being down there with them. They're used to having this misery. Misery loves company. They don't want you to succeed. People with crab mentality are the people who don't like it when you're coming up, who don't like it when you're on a healing journey, when you're speaking out loud, when you have gumption and courage and strength and start healing out loud and start sharing your story. They don't want that. They tell you things like, you've changed. I don't know who you are anymore. Be careful when you're saying that shit about your ex. That's on social media. That's for everyone to see. What about our friends? What about everyone we know? That makes everyone feel uncomfortable. No, it's they're uncomfortable. They don't want to see you winning. People like that have crab mentality. Those are not your real friends. Those are frenemies. Those are toxic people. They don't want to see the person as the person you state what happened. The mask is real. Totally. Yeah, and sometimes they just ignore the fact that you're talking about a person that they see as not like that, because a mask is really good. Thank you so much for the finger heart. Appreciate you. So yeah, this is what people are like. I can help you kind of identify who these types of people are, who's healthy in your life and who isn't. I do one-on-one coaching, and I also have group coaching every month. The next one that's coming up is November 27th, and it's limited to 25 people, so usually always sells out. Thank you for that one. I like that one. Cute. You're most welcome. Thank you. I was called phony all the time. You know, what's really interesting, I'll tell you a little funny story. Not so funny at the time, but funny now that I think about it. The narcissist that I married showed up one day with the kids, and I didn't expect him. I didn't really want to see him, but he showed up, and the very first thing he said is, our kids need therapy. And he was trying to get me to obviously react, and I didn't, and he didn't like that. So I said to him, I didn't say anything to him, actually. I just said to the kids, I'm like, come on in, guys, I missed you. And he goes, Narc Avengers, hey? And if you don't know, and by the way, if you're new here, my name is Ro. I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor, and I'm a certified life coach. And I'm part of a group called the Narc Avengers, and we do help people heal from narcissistic abuse. We have meet and greets all over. There's one coming up in November. But we're all over the internet, and we're on TikTok and YouTube and everywhere else. So he knows about it. He saw it. He goes, Narc Avengers, huh? Narc Avengers, huh? Loser. Loser. Good for you, you loser. And he's yelling at me in the street. And I'm like, come on in, kids. Like, you know, trying to keep it cool. And he's yelling, calling me a loser. Saying, Narc Avengers, huh? You whore. You're such a whore. Like, what part of the Narc Avengers makes me a whore? But anywho, he's calling me names. He's yelling it out in the street. A couple weeks later, I learn from his nanny that he had this episode in the house with my kids there where he's calling himself a loser. And he's crying, and he's sitting on the floor of his living room, drinking his drink, just being like, am I a loser? I'm a loser. Please tell me I'm a good dad. And crying in front of my kids and calling himself a loser. This is proof that a narcissist's insults to you, whenever they call you a name, you know, this man or whoever called you a phony, it's because he believes he's a phony. He called me a loser in the street as he yelled out, Narc Avengers. Because A, he was jealous of the fact that I'm coming up and I'm using the pain that he caused me and turning it into something good. He hates that. Hates it. Number two, he calls me a loser because he believes himself to be a loser. What's up, Ben? So I would, stop for a second. Anytime a narcissist calls you a name, insults you, tells you that you're worthless, makes you feel like shit, makes you feel insecure, the behaviors that they project towards you are the things they think about themselves. When they call you something, they call you a name, they say that you're fat, they call you lazy piece of shit, they call you a phony, a loser. When they say these things to you, they believe them about themselves. You're so welcome. They hate themselves so much. Why do they hate themselves? Because they don't know who they are. They jump around from relationship to relationship, try on personalities like an outfit and say, I wonder if this fits. This is why it feels like they're your soulmate. They're mirroring you, right? They're copying you. Right? It's all plagiarism. They're just copying who you are. They're trying on your personality like they're just making it up on the fly. They're watching all your every moves. They're watching you, trying to be like you because they don't like themselves. They actually hate themselves. Your ex called you a hippo. What does this person look like? My ex actually does look like a hippo. I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Madagascar 2. And there's like the two hippos and they're like hanging out. And like there's the one hippo and he comes out and he's like, I'm chunky. So like my kids used to always say, there's dad. And like that was like a joke. And he was like, yeah, that's me. Like if he ever called me a hippo, I know for sure it's because he thinks he's a hippo. They hate themselves so much because they lack identity. They don't know who they are. They hate themselves so much. They project all the hatred they have on themselves onto you. They abuse themselves through you. They look at you like a mirror. They see themselves. They see parts of themselves in you because they work so hard to try to be you. What's up, Jess? I see you, girl. How's it going? My ex used to call me black and dumb and I'm nothing without him. Yeah, you know why? Because he's nothing without you. They are nothing without us. How many of us have heard the narcissist say, you'll never find anyone like me. No one will ever love you the way I love you. How many of us have heard that? How many of us, right? Me. They are so unoriginal. They are not creative at all. They'll go to the next supply with all of your romantic ideas, all the things you ever wanted. They'll go to that next supply and do that to them because they have no creativity. You don't see a lot of narcissists in creative roles. Drawing, singing, painting. You don't see a lot of them. Some of them are for sure, but you don't see a lot of creative narcissists because narcissists are they're uncreative. They lack motivation and creativity. A lot of narcissists are in sales. A lot of narcissists are in high performing jobs like CEOs of big companies, sometimes in human resources. A lot of narcissists are good at speaking, so they'll be in like speaking professions where they're maybe like a union rep or, some narcissists are lawyers. They're in speaking roles. They're talking to people. You don't see a lot of creative narcissists because they don't know how to access emotion, which drives creativity. You do not see a lot of narcissists like that. Actors are not creative. Actors are copycats. So yeah, there's some narcissists that are actors because they know how to act. My narc told me he hoped my new boyfriend gave me an STD. Why? Because he probably has an STD. Because he probably gave you one. I don't know if you've ever been, any of the ladies in here, because this is more of like a woman problem, but narcissists are really notorious for giving you UTIs. And I know you can't get a UTI from a person. It's usually it's not an STD technically, but they are swapping fluids within the community. They're dirty as fuck. So you're going to be with a narcissist. And whenever I was with my ex, I always had a bladder infection. Always. And there's a lot of it too. There was also sexual coercion that was happening with that relationship, which means that I wasn't aroused enough to even have sex with him. So whenever I did, it was like you know, it's not good for you. It's not good for your body. And he was also cheating on me a lot. So always with the UTIs. They are poly, whether they call themselves that or not. Yeah, they do actually want you to be in open relationships. They'll ask you. And the thing with polyamorous lifestyle is that it's built on trust, and it's built on honesty and respect for one another and openness. It's not built on manipulation, but they will use that as a way to manipulate you. They'll say, oh, we're in an open relationship, right? They'll coerce you into one. But they'll still deceive you. Because what's really fucked up about narcissists is they want some slave. Hey, what's up, Shay? They want a slave. They want some concubine, robot person that's going to do everything for them. That's going to do everything for them. They want this little slave that's like, what do you want for dinner today? What can I get you? Anything for you. Bow down to the narc. Bow down, right? They want that. But what's messed up is if you actually were that for them, a robot, if you actually did everything they said, they wouldn't want that. Because there's no push, there's no conquest, there's no goal. They have a challenge. They want to, they'll go after the hardest person to get to. If they went after some easy concubine robot, it would be very boring for them. So that's what's really messed up about narcissists. They want you to be submissive. But the second you actually give them that robotic, I'm here, I'm doing whatever you want, no questions asked, they don't want that. They like the fight. They want to be able to say that they've conquered you. So true. They want everything when they want it. They want the chase. Exactly. That would be too easy for them. That wouldn't be very fun for them at all. My narc said that there is not another like him. You know, it's funny. They say that. You'll never find anyone like me. I'm the only one. I'm so unique. One of the 9 behavioral traits of narcissism, being special and unique. But they're not. I could go down the street and probably knock on 5 doors and at least find a narcissist. At least one. Because they're everywhere. And so this is one thing I want you to remember when it comes to dating, when it comes to stepping out and trusting yourself and reinventing who you are again and really being in this space of healing and dating again, you will not avoid narcissists. We have to just cut that idea out of our heads right now. We won't avoid them. They're here. We can be able to spot them, right? They want the chaos, exactly. I was an indentured servant, Alice Brady with a duck. Oh, Jason. Yeah, they are carbon copies. They are so similar. The amount of comments that I get in some of my videos that are like, did we marry the same man? You're talking about my mom. That sounds exactly like my ex-girlfriend. That sounds exactly like my fiance. That's my husband. This is my boyfriend. This is my girlfriend. Every single time I make a video about narcissists, so many people resonate because they're so similar in their behaviors and they develop a pattern. So it makes it so much easier to spot who they are. So this is why healing from narcissistic abuse, one of the 3 pillars of healing that I believe to be very imperative in our healing is education is one of them. Learning about what you went through, learning about what narcissistic abuse is, what the behavioral traits are, how you got sucked into this relationship and what parts about you got you there. Learning about it is important in your healing. Understanding why you went through what you went through. And then the easier it gets, the more you can start picking it out in other people. When you're out there dating again, you can say, wait a minute, this is love bombing. I know about this. This happened to me. I don't want this. This is manipulative. You're out. I'm charging my next narc security deposit to cover damages and therapy, right? Emotional damage. Right? We want to be able to learn what these behaviors are so that we can feel safer from dangerous people. There is a really amazing webinar coming up, guys. I don't know if you've registered for it yet. It's coming up on November 10th. It's coming up very soon, so I would get your ticket now. It's called How Could I Have Fallen for a Dangerous Man? And the author of Women Who Love Psychopaths. I do not have the other book to show you, but the other book is called How to Spot a Dangerous Man. This author here, Sandra L. Brown, she's studied over 100 pathological love relationships. And she studied what it's like inside the relationships of inevitable harm with psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists. I, along with some other panelists, will be interviewing this author on November 10th in a webinar that's live, where you can watch and you can hear her answers and hear her talking exactly about how we got involved with dangerous people. Now, she's a woman writing about dangerous men. Anybody who's a man can still have access to this course, to this webinar. It's 90 minutes and it is recorded. So the minute you buy the ticket, you are eligible to get the recording. You will get it immediately right away, emailed as soon as it is over. It is $25. When is it again? It is November 10th. So if you miss it, you will get a recording of it. So if you do miss it, you do get the recording of it. You just won't have access to ask the questions. There is a Q&A at the end. It is a live webinar where we interview Sandra L. Brown on pathological love relationships. She's written the book Women Who Love Psychopaths and How to Spot a Dangerous Man. And the thing with that is there is some sort of responsibility. Where do you register? You can go to the link in my bio under What's New. It's the very top link. Hit the link, hit buy now, and you can be registered for it. It's only $25. It is November 10th. Thank you, Lacey. I want you to think about this for a second. We are not responsible for the abuse. We're responsible to heal from it. How do we heal from abuse? We have to learn about it. We need to know what the fuck happened to us. We need to know, how did we get here? How did we get stuck in this? Thursday, November 10th, $25. It's called How Could I Have Fallen for a Dangerous Man? Sandra L. Brown is going to be the subject that we will be interviewing. I will be a panelist on that event along with other people like Lisa Sani, a Stronger Than Before, if you know her, Carrie McAvoy, PhD, and there's going to be a few others there as well. KP Stratman, if you know Stand Coaching, she's going to be there as well. We're going to be interviewing her and asking her the questions, and you will have an opportunity to ask her some questions as well. There is a way to figure out what happened to you so that you can learn how to spot dangerous people from afar and be able to cut them out. We learn the cutthroat ability to cut anybody off who isn't who they say they are and isn't really for us. That's what we learn when we heal from narcissistic abuse. We cannot avoid narcissists. They're everywhere. Like, look at this guy here. Jose, sir, it goes the other way too. These types of people who need to talk and be heard, these types of people who need to be in the spotlight, who feel that they're special and unique, who feel like they need to say something to distract from the subject because they don't want to, have a light shine on them. These are people who we need to figure out where they come from, how we find them, why we're attracted to them, and what part of us makes us attractive to them. How Could I Have Fallen for a Dangerous Man? Thursday, November 10th, $25 ticket. Lacey, thank you so much. I want you to, I'm going to add you as a moderator. Thank you. Because Lacey and Brittany are amazing when it comes to just being able to let everybody know what we're doing here. So this webinar is going to be amazing. It is going to really highlight the personality that led you to a narcissist. Did you know that part of your personality can lead you to a narcissist or a sociopath or a psychopath? Did you know that there's a part of you? I'm not talking about codependence, because that just, to me, is kind of a myth. It's not really. We are codependent when it comes to addicts. We are codependent when it comes to, emotional dependence. But when it comes to abuse, we're not codependent on abuse. We don't need it. But there's a part of us. There are personalities, there's traits in us that attract us, that make us very attractive to these types of dangerous people, these toxic people. We need to learn about what that is. In order for us to move forward in our dating life, we can't just hide in our houses and be hermits forever. Some of us want to fall in love again. Some of us want to go out and be able to trust people and be friends and form connections and friendships again. Even if they had a really shitty friendship or a really shitty relationship. Some of us want to find a parental figure or someone who they feel safe with. If we had a narcissistic parent, right? We don't want to hide and be able to, it's okay to be a bit hypervigilant at times because we do want to protect ourselves, but we also need to learn how to trust ourselves. And the first thing we need to do that is to learn what we went through and to learn about narcissistic abuse. Sandra L. Brown describes this as pathological love relationships. She's talking about relationships, partnerships, specifically in the romantic sense. So we are going to be interviewing her on November 10th. It is a Thursday. The tickets are $25. You can get the ticket, the link in my bio. You do get a recording of it if you're not able to make it. You'll get email reminders to let you know when it is. You'll get a Zoom link and you'll be able to watch and attend the webinar. This is really important to learn why you went through what you went through. This is really important to learn how to spot narcissists, how to spot dangerous people, and be able to cut them off the second you figure it out. The second you figure it out, and not blame yourself for being with them. Yes, it's going to be so insightful. If anybody is interested in going, this is going to be the event that is going to be your self-defense course. How many of us have taken a self-defense course? We take self-defense course to protect ourselves physically. We don't ever take self-defense courses to protect our emotional, right? We need emotional safety. It took you 13 years, it took me 14 years. The length of time doesn't matter, but it does get shorter the more we know about it. I just recently figured out somebody was a really dangerous person in 3 months. And I'm like, 3 months? Holy shit. How did I stick with a person like this for 3 months? And my therapist is like, Ro, 3 months is not that long. You were able to spot it. Your radar works. My picker was off, but my radar works. Your picker might be off. You might pick a dangerous man. You might pick a narcissist. You might pick someone who is abusive, toxic. You might pick them. You might show up in their life and be with them. That's okay. We can't help it. They're everywhere. We cannot avoid narcissists. We have to accept that. There are manipulative, toxic people everywhere. But the tools that we get to access, the tools we acquire from learning about what we went through, this is going to be one of those tools. How could I have fallen for a dangerous man? November 10th, $25 a ticket. Go to the link in my bio if you want to register for that. And come back to the live and say, I got my ticket. So we know how many of us we're going to see there, okay? Go register for it. Come back and say, got my ticket. I want you to know that when you have these tools, the time you spend with narcissists gets shorter and shorter and shorter. Because the more you put your self-worth up here, the more you start to realize who belongs in your life and who doesn't. Yay, you registered. Whoever wants to register, go get the ticket now. Register, come back and say I registered so we know how many people are going. The more you learn about what you went through and why you got stuck with a person who is dangerous, a person who is toxic, the more you'll be able to trust yourself to cut someone off who isn't really for you and isn't really who they say they are. When you find out who are liars, when you find out who is abusive, when you find out that they're toxic, manipulative, when you find out that they're lying to you and everyone else about you, when they're stealing from you, right? When they're manipulating you, when they're just using you for something, you don't question it. You just cut it off and say, I'm no longer interested in this anymore. Have a great day. Have a great life. Goodbye. And you don't care what they think about it. You don't care if you're pleasing them or not pleasing them or pissing them off because you're more important. We cannot love a toxic person and love ourselves at the same time. We have the ability to only love us first. We have to love us first. So if that person doesn't display love and show you that they love you, because love is a verb, it's not what we say, it's what we do. Once we get to this place where we learn how to love ourselves, we choose ourselves. This is what I want to teach you. This is what all of this is about, is how to trust yourself, love yourself, and be in a space where you can cut people off without any question. So true, right? Always trust your gut. Your intuition is very subtle. Don't trust your heart, okay? Nobody follow their heart. Can we make a promise here, guys? Let's make a promise right here, right now. I will not trust my heart. I will not follow my heart. Okay? Let's make a promise. I will not follow my heart. Why? Because that little bitch is totally directionally challenged. Your heart knows shit. Your heart is protected. Our gut has to take care of our heart. Do not follow your heart, promise. Follow your gut. Follow your intuition. It's quiet. It's subtle. And it's a lot harder to hear when there's a lot of chaos. So we have to do the best we can to have boundaries, to be able to put a wall around what we allow in so that the toxic shit doesn't come through, so that we can listen to our gut. We can listen to our intuition. Am I glitching? Glitching screen? Am I glitching? She's wrong. Your gut is always right. Yes, the heart is wrong. You're so welcome. Yes. Your gut, I'm glitching, yeah. I'm going on my 1 hour. I got 4 minutes left. Got your ticket, yay! But you see me. I do appreciate you. I am going to end live very soon here, but I do want to let you know the webinar is on November 10th. It is $25. I do want to see you all there because I want to see you succeed. I want to see you win. We are going to be interviewing Sandra L. Brown, the author of Women Who Love Psychopaths. You just looked pixelated, but I see you. Yes, I think my phone service is like just bad. Women Who Love Psychopaths and How to Spot a Dangerous Man. And we are going to be interviewing Sandra L. Brown, the author of those 2 books, where she will talk about pathological love relationships and what about us leads us to narcissists. Why do we get stuck with a narcissist? What about us attracts them, and why are we attractive to them? This is going to be on November 10th. I would get your ticket right away so that you can learn about this and learn how to protect yourself from future narcissists that show up in our lives, because we actually can't avoid them. Also, I'm a life coach. So if you're just popping in at the end of my live, you can work with me one-on-one individually. I do 30-minute and 60-minute appointments. You can book right here on the link in my bio. I also came out with a new journal. It's the Healing Journal, the Rollercoaster of Love Healing Journal, where you can start writing some of your freedom stuff and put your freedom date in there. I also have group coaching, which is November 27th. Thank you, Brittany. And if you do want to subscribe or do want to attend group coaching, it is a one-time drop-in every month, and it sells out pretty fast every month. So if you do want that, you can go to the link in my bio and register. And last but not least, this is the one thing I'm really excited about. I have merch, which is also really exciting. So if you want to get yourself a little hat or a tumbler or coffee mug or a hoodie or a shirt, I do have merch in the link in my bio, but this is what I'm most excited about. On November 19th in Toronto, Canada, I'm going to be meeting with Lee Hammock of Mental Healness, Lisa Sani, Stronger Than Before, Jules, Hearts by Jules, Carrie McAvoy, PhD, and KP Stratman. And we are part of a group called the Narc Avengers. We're going to be doing a meet and greet and a private Q&A for anybody who is wanting to meet me and some of the other Narc Avengers in this space. We are going to be talking. There's going to be a drink, a signature cocktail that is included if you do drink at the Drake Hotel in Toronto on November 19th. If you want to get a ticket, if you want to register for either the Q&A, the meet and greet, or both, we also have a special journal that the 6 of us have put together. And Self-Aware Narcissist Lee Hammock is going to be at this event as well. And we're going to be meeting you face to face. So if you want to be at this event, go to narcavengers.com. which you can find at the very bottom of my beacons link, and join, because it's going to be an amazing event. Very exciting. So I'm most excited about that. So I do want to thank you guys for being here today. I would love to see you at the meet and greet. If you can't be in Toronto, what if you have no one to go with? Come by yourself. Yes, Lee Hammock is going to be there as well. Just show up. You'll have us there, right? There's going to be a lot of you going by yourselves because, let's face it, healing from narcissistic abuse is a lonely road. It's really isolating. There's not a lot of people who understand what we're even healing through. This is why it's so important to find community, find your people. You're going to show up. If you show up alone, yes, oh my God, please get the journal, Lacey. Get the journal. It's on Amazon. The link is in my bio as well. You can also Google Rollercoaster of Love on Amazon. It'll come up. But yes, even if you show up alone, you're going to be with people who get it. You're going to be with community of people that are just like you, like-minded. So that is the one that I'm most excited about. But the one that's coming up real soon is November 10th. How could I have fallen for a dangerous man? It is $25. This webinar is going to teach you how to spot dangerous people, narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths, and how to stay the fuck away from them. The tickets are $25. I believe the tickets for the meet and greet and Q&A together are $40, or you can get them separately. Really reasonable for meeting us. So everything can be found in the link of my bio. Have a peruse. There's tons of stuff in there. That's for Toronto, is $40 for the meet and greet and the Q&A together. That's a VIP. And then there's also just them separately, and there's times as well. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Remember that every day on the side of freedom is so much sweeter. Even your worst day on the side of freedom will still be far better than the best day you ever had with that narcissist. I promise you, what you're going through is temporary, okay? Love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Talk to you soon. Bye.